Hello and welcome to this 40-day breath practice. My name is Hollis Bailey. I'm a transformation coach and a breath work facilitator. Among many other tools, I'm a sound healing facilitator. I do plant medicine ceremonies, and first and foremost, above all, I'm a coach and therapist. That's my passion. And all of these other amazing modalities are things that I share with my clients in our individual sessions and also online. So I have been sitting on this recorded 40-day practice since summer of 2023. You'll see in this page that this was created for a live event around the Venus retrograde, which happened in the summer of 2023. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about how to use these videos and what you're going to experience and find and how you can apply them now, even though this was recorded for a specific event, and you'll find a lot of my talks and teaching in those videos are going to be related to the Venus retrograde. I can guarantee you that you're going to find something, if you do listen to the teaching, that's relevant to your life now. So it doesn't really matter that it was recorded last year. So in essence, let me walk you through the page. First, you're going to find the breath tutorials. So step one, go through the breath tutorials. Some are really short breath tutorials. Definitely go over the conscious connected breathing breath tutorial, because that's the breath that you're going to use the most throughout the 40 days. Once you get into the 40 days of the breath practice, the first few videos are pretty short practices, so like 10 to 15 to 20 minutes. And then towards the end of the 40 days, if you decide to do a 40-day challenge for yourself, you're going to get into some of the longer sessions. So I definitely recommend, whether you're new to breathwork or whether you have been breathing for a while in this style, to start slow, to start with a shorter breath practice. So start with those first few days. I also recommend deciding now to challenge yourself. So just choose a number of days. Maybe you want to breathe for the next 5 days, or maybe you want to do a 7-day breath practice or a 10-day breath practice. A 40-day breath practice may seem daunting, but if you're ready for that, then absolutely go for it. It will no doubt bring so much transformation and change to your life. So I can't say enough about the breath. Once you're on the page that you got when you signed up for this, you will be able to navigate through my website so you can read more about the breath work and what it does. So I'm not going to go into all of the benefits of it right now. But the reason I am most interested in it is because I love exploring the subconscious mind. So doing the inner work, delving into more of what's in here and what God is, what I'm made out of, what you're made out of, what this spirituality is in terms of how we're living here on earth and how we can become essentially better people as a result of beginning to ask questions. Who am I? What am I doing here? How can I improve? How can I change my habits? How can I be a better person? How can I fix these things that I don't want to be operating in my life? And we all have them. So in order to do that, we need to do what's called the inner work. I call it the inner work. First, we start asking ourselves questions. And the techniques are many, but one amazing technique to begin to really make progress in your life, to begin to have those transformations, to begin to integrate the changes, break self-sabotaging patterns, move energy, heal from trauma. One of the most amazing tools we have is the breath. And the style of breathing that I teach, which you'll get into in the breath practice, is the broad term is conscious connected breathing. So it's in and out through the mouth. You can breathe in and out through the nose as a less activating practice, so more of a relaxing breath. But essentially it's the same breath for a prolonged period of time. So you tend to get past the mental state in the beginning, and then you continue to breathe, and you get into the emotional body, and then more of maybe the mental body, and we start to straighten things out on the mental body. And sometimes we can even go into these mystical experiences and have very profound insights from the spirit world in these sessions. So I love the breath because the breath is the only physiological process in the physical body that we have control over. So we can bring our consciousness, our awareness to it and breathe in the styles that I teach you. And it's going to have a connection, be able to help connect you to those deeper subconscious places. So, and that's where we find out the information about how and why we are doing the things we're doing. Most of us are operating out of conditioning, out of this programming, and we can't think ourselves well, or we can't think ourselves into a new pattern. We have to actually change it in our body. And so just by simply breathing, we're moving so much energy, and we don't have to use the mind other than the mental cues of breathe in, breathe out, essentially, and stay with the breath. And that takes so much distraction out of really getting into maybe the roots of our self-sabotaging patterns, or the roots of our relationship issues, the roots of our overwhelm, or ADHD, the monkey mind, etc., etc. So when we take the mind out of it, we're really doing ourselves a lot of favors when it comes to doing this inner work. We can analyze all day long, and we can't think ourselves well. We can't heal ourselves by just thinking about it. If we could, then we'd all have a great diet, we'd all be doing exercise, we'd all be making all of the money we want to make, we'd all have great relationships, because we know that that is something that we're striving for, but we can't just strive for it mentally. So the breath is a great practice, great practice, and it might be the only medicine any of us really need, to be honest. It's so powerful. I don't recommend going into the longer sessions right away, especially if this is new to you, because it can bring up a lot. You can go really deep with this. So take it at your own pace. You're going to be receiving some emails from me if you signed up for this Practice and got access to this page through an email list. So you'll be receiving some emails from me over the next few days, letting you know a little bit more about what I do and how to use the breath and other things like plant medicine, coaching, other somatic exercises to heal and move energy in your body. So we didn't come here to be half happy. We came here to become the best versions of ourselves. So whether you are starting out at ground zero and maybe you've been struggling for a while and you feel stuck in your life, then this is an incredible way to start. Dedicate yourself to the next 5 days and just see how your life changes in just simply doing energy movement in this way for the next 5 days. And you might be finding this page as someone who's done a lot of inner work. And if you are one of those people, well, it kind of never ends. So it does at some point, if you enjoy this self-development and getting to know you better and getting to enjoy the fruits of all your labor when you're working on your relationships, when you're working on, living more from your heart, connecting with your soul and your guides, God, if you will, and being led by that. It's a really different way of living than living from the conditioned way that all of us have been taught. Eventually, when we start to wake up and when we come to these questions, you wouldn't be listening to this if you weren't someone who wasn't curious about the inner work and improving your life and improving yourself. But when we start to ask ourselves these questions, we find out that there's just an endless amount, an infinite amount more that we can know. So use this as one of the many tools. Have fun with it. If you do get into the breath practice and a lot of stuff starts to come up, that's totally normal. Allow it to run. This is essentially moving energy in our body. When we talk about trauma, we really know that trauma is just trapped emotions, trapped energy in the body. So just by simply breathing for 10 to 15 minutes a day is trauma release. It's shifting that energy that's been trapped in your body for potentially your entire life. So enjoy, welcome, thank you again for having a curiosity and having an interest in this breath practice. And I will say a couple more things about the videos. Each video, you're going to find 40 days of breath videos. So you're going to find an oracle reading or a teaching at the beginning of each day. Again, I was doing this as a live event as a part of an astrological transit. So I'll talk about a little bit about the transits. You don't have to listen to that intro and the oracle reading. So I've asked people who have done this after the Venus retrogrades, and when they listen to the oracle readings, it's so awesome to hear how in sync it is, or what kind of messages are coming through then are relevant to your life now. So that's up to you. Most of the videos are timestamped, so you can skip right ahead to the breath practice if you don't want to listen to the teaching and the oracle reading. Okay? So have fun, enjoy, challenge yourself, and I will see you in the future videos. Welcome!